Hello, this is Ajay to the group. Today I'm going to present on the topic of revenue recognition issue on the subject of accounting theory and current issues. Before starting presentation, I would like to introduce my group. We have a 6 member, including me. It's Ajay, Rajesh, Dinesh, Shiva, Kausal, Prakash. After the formal introduction, I would like to go through my slides. So it goes like this. The report is developed to present a critical analysis of 2 research articles selected from the credible accounting journals. The accounting journals are selected in relation to the topic of issue in revenue recognition. The report intends to examine the literature of the 2 selected articles for undertaking their critical analysis. It also provide major implications of the research finding obtained from the selected articles for the identified stakeholders. Now, from here, I would like to hand over the remaining slides to my colleague Rajesh.
Thank you, Ajay. I want to present myself on the topic explanation of the reasons for selection of the research articles. Accountant provide critical analysis of the challenges faced by businesses for recognition of revenue, which helps in improving the knowledge and skills of stakeholders in recognition of revenue during financial reporting. This provides an understanding of the impact of new accounting standard for revenue recognition on the revenue expense relation. For the more presentation, I would like to call my friend Dinesh. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajesh. Now I am continuing my presentation on explanation of the purpose of the 2 studies. The purpose of first research article is to improve the abilities of students to identify and recognize the revenue in areas that are not outlined by financial accounting standard boards. The research question addressed is what are the revenue recognition criteria that are not yet covered by the financial accounting standard board for measurement of revenue. The second research article proposes to examine the impact of new accounting standard for recognition of revenue on revenue expense relation. The research question addressed is what are the changes incurred in revenue expense relation due to the development of new accounting standard for recognition of revenue. Now the presentation will be continued by Mr. Shiva.
Thank you, Dinesh. Moving on, I'd like to start on the topic discussion about the similarities and differences in the finding of 2 studies. The similarities in the research finding among 2 selected research articles are that both has aimed to develop an understanding of complex issues that business firms face in the recognition of revenue. The differences among 2 research articles selected is in relation to the purpose of both studies. The first article selected is to improve the students' ability for analyzing, reporting revenue, while the second article selected is to develop for the purpose of accountant and stakeholders. To continue this presentation, I'd like to call Prakash.
Thank you, Shiva. For now, I'm going to do on the topic of implication of research finding for external stakeholders. Implication of first research articles such as for the accountant in Australian companies. Accountant can gain knowledge of various cases where it is difficult to apply revenue recognition standards. How to treat accounting issues that arise while applying revenue recognition standards. For accounting regulators, it is very important to understand the problems faced while applying revenue recognition standards and need for developing new revenue recognition standards. This article will help a lot to the accounting regulators in making the required change in accounting standards of revenue recognition. For the external stakeholders such as investors, it helps the investor in understanding the financial statement in more meaningful manners. Investors can make use facts of the case to have proper understanding of revenue recognition standards, facilitating them in taking right decision investment. Now for the further discussion on the same topic, I would like to call my friend Kausal.
Thank you, Shiva. Now moving on. Thank you, Shiva and Prakash. Moving on, I would like to continue on same topic, implication of a research article. So this one is the second one. So it's applied on all those three sectors, which already my friend has already discussed on previous slide. So its implication is on Australian companies, accounting regulators, and investors. So the first one is implication in accounting in Australian companies. So the first one is identifying the contemporary approach for improving the management for earning during the financial reporting, identifying the special items that can be used for explaining the relationship between revenues and expenses. So the next one is accounting regulators, assessing the impact of the volatile of revenue due to increase in recognition of special item in the income statement. Accounting regulators can make use of the study of setting of required changes in accounting standards of revenue recognition. Investors, helping investors to understand the relationship between income and expenses. So the next one is understanding the various economic events and responsible for volatility of revenue recognized by the entity. So all of those we discussed on the previous slides, were about the revenue recognition. Now we can conclude saying that it's an overall discussion carried out in the report that there are variety of issues that the business organization come across during measuring revenue and reporting it during the financial statement. So that need to be implemented through new accounting standard for revenue recognition, that is IASB, for overcoming the weaknesses. So most of the business houses are facing those challenges nowadays. So the major problem to calculate it when under FASB revenue has been discussed and analyzed detailedly. Thank you.